see mommy Nkechi, a rapper don't tell she the kneel for grave where my uche de Papa Emeka. Don't blind from growing picking, don't fall, now watch up I'm raw. Me self they shake my hand no feel. Yesterday we laughed, today now just we more. If we don't stop this night where we they share, tell me who go sing for the ones we know they.
She need the voice from under the soil. Brother, no let my blood turn to oil. Little Ada they ask where my papa go. Her small hand they shake, she no sabi this woe. I beg, my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts we no go fail you. If we hold this love, that death go burn you.
No, make we try you. Back up in the day.
I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts.
I see mommy Nkechi, a rapper don't tell she the kneel for grave where my uche de Papa Emeka. Don't blind from growing picking, don't fall, now watch up I'm raw. Me self they shake my hand no feel. Yesterday we laughed, today now just we more. If we don't stop this night where we they share, tell me who go sing for the ones we know they.
She need the voice from under the soil. Brother, no let my blood turn to oil. Little Ada they ask where my papa go. Her small hand they shake, she no sabi this woe. I beg, my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts we no go fail you. If we hold this love, that death go burn you.
No, make we try you. Back up in the day.
I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts we no go fail you. If we hold this love, that death go burn you.
Oh, make we try you.
Back up joints with a trembling. Oh, hey. If we no join now, our children go so.
Breaking news reaching us now, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested, extradited to Nigeria, and is right now being arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court.
It was an unjust war.
Long ago, in the heart of Biafra, a nation was born from the ashes of war. A war that scarred the land and its people, yet it never killed the spirit of freedom.
The war aim of Biafra is purely to prevent ourselves being slaughtered, nothing more.
It was in this land, scarred by conflict, that Nnamdi Kanu was born, a son destined to revive the dream of independence for Biafra.
And if anybody is going to judge our success and failure in this war, it will have to depend on how much we have prevented the enemy from killing us.
Raised with the echoes of his ancestors' struggles, Kanu understood that the wounds of war ran deep in the hearts of his people. The scars from the Biafran War, which ravaged the land and cost countless lives, had never healed. The dream of an independent Biafra, broken but not forgotten, lived on in the hearts of those who survived. It was these voices, these memories, that called him to action. As Nnamdi Kanu grew, so did his voice. He became a preacher of justice, a messenger for those who were unheard. He spoke not just for his generation, but for all those whose lives were shattered by the war. The pain of the past was alive within him, and his words resonated with the cries of the oppressed. But as Kanu's message spread, so did the fear of the establishment. His calls for self-determination grew louder, shaking the very foundations of the government. They feared the revival of a Biafran spirit, one that could awaken the wounds of the past and ignite a new conflict. And so, they moved against him. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, his body captured, but his spirit unbroken. The authorities believed that imprisoning him would extinguish the fire he had started. But they failed to understand the depths of his cause. The pain of the war, the bloodshed of the past, was not something easily forgotten. It was a flame that could never be fully extinguished. His arrest became a symbol of the struggle that began in the blood-soaked fields of the Biafran War. The demand for freedom was still alive. The fight for justice continued, not just for Nnamdi Kanu, but for all the lives lost, for all the children born into a world of scars. The fight for Biafra is not just his fight. It is the fight of all those who have ever dreamed of a free land. And though the past may haunt the present, the future is still unwritten. As long as the story of Nnamdi Kanu is told, as long as the voices of his people rise, the dream of Biafra lives on. Arrested, again, 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 and yet again.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate, my right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Biafra land, listen. They thought they could silence me, but they didn't just cage me. They caged your spirit. They made you forget that our land still bleeds, that our people still suffer, that nothing has changed. 5 years in chains. But what about you? Are you not free? Or have they bound your voice with fear? The struggle was never about me, it was about you, your children, your land, your future. So I ask you, where is the fire that once burned in your heart? Where is the voice that once roared for freedom? Wake up! Rise again. Speak. Act. Remember who you are. This is Nnamdi Kanu.
This is my wicked word. This is my confusion word. Listen to Palibran. I will tell you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. The river they go. The river they go. Opposite Udi. But the rocky hand the side. Along Gusukudu Road. I see people run. I see people run. Then I ask the driver. The driver waiting they happen. The driver waiting they happen. The driver tell the Pali boy. See no day for talk. See no day for talk. It's better you take your eye and see. Then I call the driver. The driver waiting. The driver waiting. This is my wicked word. This is my confusion word. Listen to Palibran. I will tell you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. The river they go. The river they go. Opposite Udi. But the rocky hand the side. Along Gusukudu Road. I see people run. I see people run.
of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile, Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onweghị onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi. Ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, ọbụladị ndị okenye oru 2 na 4 bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ana ha niile so na-ede nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe. N'ụtụtụ a, ehihie, abalị, n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke berede ngọzi ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube onye ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị ma mma gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ezi ebube dị ngọzi ka igwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro, ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ, ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ, ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke bịara na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe, mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne ịdị n'otu ọganiru, ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna, ka i wee tinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu ma wezuga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke bred ngọzi. Ka ọ ga-abụ n'ikpeta maazị na Biafra ga-abịa, anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị wee gọzie aha nsọ gị, kpụ isi ala nye gị, bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi mara n'ebighị ebi ka a na-arịọ gị ise ise ise. Morning. All of you, I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, Chukwu Kikabia Mapurumi Henine, servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it. Great 419ers these days, I look at you and I laugh at you. In the time of the ancients, once there is, a whiff of or word that this family that they give birth to thieves, believe you me, all of that name, that lineage, you will die a natural death, because nobody will agree to marry into that family, and nobody will come there to take their daughters. That's how we are as a people. An ex-419er, a murderer and a killer, was installed in Imo State, and he had the temerity. Nobody told him about what has gone before, that you don't come outside to challenge the will of God. Everything IPOB does is the will of God Almighty in heaven. That is why we pray the way we do. That is why we comport ourselves the way we do. That is why we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. That is why we are without blemish, insofar as the restoration of Biafra is concerned. Without blemish, I'm telling you. That is why everything I say comes to pass. That is why everything that IPOB touches turns into gold. That is why we are unstoppable. That is why, despite the fact that politicians do not support us, despite the fact that all the so-called money bags do not support us, today we are the largest, most potent mass movement anywhere on earth. We are formidable. Chineke na mere mebere. IPOB. IPOB is a spirit. When you provoke us, we turn into monsters. But in the main, we are peace-loving people, because we are the children of God Almighty in heaven. Without God, how can we be where we are today, I ask you? With nothing. That today we give a command and the whole world stands still. Do you think it is us that is doing it? It is God Almighty in heaven, using us as instruments to make the manifestation of his will upon the lives of his children a reality in their time. That's exactly what we are doing. IPOB is a monster, I'm telling you. I commend all of you. All of you, I commend each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. We are doing that which is right before God Almighty in heaven and the sons of men on this very earth. There was the only people that actually did something decent. The decent coverage was by Vanguard newspaper. I think it's one correspondent who wrote it. It's called, what's his name again? I think a lot of them put this very piece together. Very many of them. I think Vincent Ujumadu, Festus Ahon, Chidi Nwokpara, Chinonsa Lozio, Gochupu, Steve Oko is there, Ikechukwu Odu Chinedu, Adon, all of them. Chimobi Wiwu, one general in the history of Nigeria, if not the whole of Africa. I mean, battlefield general, not quota general. The person, the people that gave Ironsi his generalship were white people, not blacks. White. Oyibo. Ironsi was a battlefield general, not quota general. Agree. The first general, the first indigenous commander of the Nigerian army is from Ibeku, my clan, my village. Or should I say my mother's village in Duma? It's from Omwana. Ibeku. We produced the first military head of state, the first general ever, battlefield general, even general before the zoo became an independent flag, independent enclave of the British. And that Ibeku, if you ask them to sit at home, they'll be talking rubbish. That is why they were ignored. History forgot about them. It's my land, yes. History forgot about them completely. Because of their idiocy and stupidity. Umuahia is the land that produced Dr. Michael Okpara. The same way Umuahia produced Ironsi, Umuahia produced Dr. Michael Okpara. The man, according to Harvard Review, not black newspaper or magazine, according to Harvard Review, the fastest growing economy in the world, the man that made it possible. It was Okpara's miracle, economic miracle, that frightened Britain. That was why they organized the first coup, so that they can slaughter us. That man is from Umuahia. The only black man in the history of the world to grow the economy of his region faster than any other economy in the world, including USA, including Britain, including Japan, everybody else. Number one in the world is from Umuahia. Yet if you ask Umuahia, they don't even know who they are. That's why they are foolish. But I think yesterday, they came back to their senses, and I commend them. Of course, Aba is always there. Aba and Onisha, how can I forget? Aba and Onisha. I salute them immensely. And they say better late than never. Enugu did very well, and I commend them. Ebonyi, of course, was there too. Enugu did, except people were lamenting. After my program yesterday morning, people started calling and lamenting. Some were calling my lawyers and lamenting and saying, how can he say this thing about Enugu? Enugu is complying. All we want is total compliance everywhere, because Biafra doesn't belong to me. I'm only preaching the gospel that heaven asked me to preach. Biafra is your own. You are fighting for a better future for your children, away from the horrible torment of Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate. Biafra is yours. It doesn't belong to me. When we ask you to sit at home, you must comply. It's for your own good and the good of your children. Today, haven't you heard that the whole world is reverberating to the success that was recorded? We are the very best of the best. And I must commend Governor Obiano for building the cenotaph. He built it last year. I think it was last year he built it, but this year, you know, our people, you know, Biafrans, everything takes time. Everything takes time. I'm sure in the next 2-3 years, if this tradition whole world, only then will the world recognize that there was genocide against us. So you don't know that? If you don't say you're somewhere, nobody will quote you that you're there. We cannot be going around and saying to the world, a great injustice was done to Biafra, or Zemena, when you yourself, you're not doing anything about it. Days like yesterday is what will bring to the fore the level of injustice and mayhem visited upon Biafran people. Only then will the world consider Biafra genocide as being worthy to be mentioned in the book of those that have been killed unjustly in the history of man.
For those of you who are still very skeptical in supporting your own freedom, I have a message for you. Life is not going to be easy for you when Biafra finally comes. And I'm very, very sure, very, very optimistic that Biafra is coming. And I'm going to tell you a little bit, give you a little bit hint how this Biafra will come. I want you to remember that from the beginning, you have always doubted me. When we started the Biafra Republic government, you doubted me. At the end, you see cabinet, over 113 people. When we started the Biafra administrative office in the United States in Baltimore, you doubted me. Some people even went there to remove the Biafra flag. They say nothing like that existed. It's a lie. It's a propaganda. Yet, it came, we inaugurated the house, and you become a liar as always. You failed. I am still here. We started the Biafra Self-Referendum Convention in Finland, started advertising it. They say it's a propaganda. It is only way to collect money from his unsuspecting members. As if that is not enough. They saw people trooping into Finland. They say that is not true. They saw the way I entered the hall. The love showered on me is unbelievable. And then they begin to panic. They say, oh, the people that came to Finland are idiots. The people that came to Finland are not human beings. The people that came to Finland don't have sense. Of course, you know, they always look for something to talk you down. But we have never deviated one day. We never shaked. We talked about the Biafra Liberation Army. They say it's a lie. He don't have anybody. There is no man anywhere. You only have this boys brigade. Some people even begin to compare the Eastern Security Network picture videos with just a show of the anti-aircraft that we have. One of the anti-aircraft. They say, oh, they are just 4. Today, they have seen battalion and they have gone to the abyss. I want you to understand that there is nothing I have said that did not come to pass. The only thing remaining is the declaration of Biafra. I am giving you these instances so that for you who are in a better position to fund this liberation, to support the liberation, and you are staying behind the scene and castigating what we're doing, believe me, the consequences is heavy. I want you to understand that in South Korea, those who did not support their freedom are not citizens. You renew your residence permit every year. We are going to have something tougher than that. You see all of you in the US, all of you in America, all of you in Biafra land, believe me, you are going to see law that will bend your mouth. Now we have been able to inaugurate and unveil the Biafra Liberation Army and all forces of Biafra. And the idea is to make sure we arm them to the teeth. The time we complain about the killings by the Nigeria Terrorist Army Police, DSS, is over. Completely over. We can never complain again. So it is gun for gun, bullet for bullet, bomb for bomb, until you leave our land and go back to Nigeria. Those who think that we are going to keep silent when we are being butchered and killed, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I will fight even when I am not breathing. I will continue to fight. But let me tell you, you will not have the opportunity to make me not to breathe. I will destroy the entity called Nigeria as fast as possible. The destruction of Nigeria is to safeguard Biafra people. The destruction of the evil entity, a terrorist entity called Nigeria, is for self-defense of the Biafra people. Women and children will pay the ultimate price by sacrificing many millions of Biafrans for the past years. The difference here is when those people were being sacrificed for one Nigeria, this strategy was a failure. The strategy that led to the sacrifice of many millions of Biafra was a failure. Today, we know better. Nigeria will die silently until Biafra will rise, and the flag will go up and rise among nations.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program this morning, wherever you are connected from. If you are joining us on Facebook, you're joining us on TikTok, or you're with me on David Harbour channel on YouTube, where I'm hosting the program, I welcome every one of you. Wherever you are joining us from, according to your time zone, if you are joining from Biafra land, from Nigeria, from Africa, from Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, you are joining us from China, from Russia, from Israel, wherever you are joining this program from, I welcome you, I appreciate you, and I thank you for being part of this program this morning. My fellow Biafrans and people of the world, lovers of freedom that are watching us, I want to remind you once again before we proceed that in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come to this platform to preach hate. We don't come to this platform to attack people or individuals. We do not come to this platform for saga. We don't come for this platform to push any agenda except the restoration of Biafra. What we do in this platform is to present Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state called Nigeria. Biafra is the only remedy to the failed state called Nigeria. One thing that every indigenous person in Nigeria agrees with is Nigeria has failed. It does not matter your orientation, your religion, your ideology. Every single genuine citizen of that zoological republic agrees that the country has failed. But where we disagree is on the solution. Many of them do not have the solution, and they do not have the courage to venture into the solution, nor support those who have the solution. For us Biafrans, we have the solution, and we have provided that remedy to the failed state Nigeria, which is Biafra. Remember the definition of Biafra given by our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu. He said, Biafra is a place where the oppressed people run into and are saved. Today we are presenting that safe place for every indigenous person, people of the world. We are presenting it as a remedy to the failed state Nigeria. Lives have been lost and continue to be lost in Nigeria. And anyone that cares about humanity should listen to the call of Biafra, recognize Biafra, and support Biafra. It is not a selfish pursuit of independence. It is not a selfish call. It is a call to save humanity. It doesn't matter your orientation. It doesn't matter your religion. It does not matter your location. It doesn't matter your dialect. All we are asking is live, and let's live. Believe and believe. Let those who love to be in the caliphate be in the caliphate. Let those who love to practice the monarchical system practice it. Let those who enjoy the secular system enjoy it. The Arewa people, the Ududua people, the Biafrans, and the Middle Belters, everyone be on their own, secure their borders, practice whatever they deem fit to practice within their own, grow in their own space at their own speed. That is all we are asking for. A simple solution to remove the destructive diversity that's inflamed the time bomb that is about to explode to consume everybody. That's what we're asking for. And what we are asking for is not just an experiment. It is something that has been experimented in so many places and it worked. It has been done in Asia. It worked perfectly well. It has been done in Europe. It worked. It has been done in America. It worked. Why is it difficult to be implemented in Africa? Why? Anyone that cares about humanity should support the cause of Biafra. It is a cause to save life. We have gone past the stage of restructuring, the stage of managing the system to see what you can get out of it. Now, we have passed that. The only people who are still in that delusional state is the Western world and some criminal elements who are benefiting from the suffering of the people. They are the only ones who are still bent on remaining on the evil agenda of the enemies. They continue to promote agenda that they know is not meant to save them or secure them. They continue to protect an agenda that is not meant for the safety or security of anybody. Not the Hausas, not the Yorubas, not the Igbos, not other ethnic groups. The only people that continue to enjoy the chaos in Nigeria are those who are foreigners. The Western world and the Fulani Janjaweed that came from the Sahel region. These two parties are seeking for something from the indigenous people in that contraption. One is seeking for land to accommodate themselves. The other one is seeking for resources. And two of them have managed to be able to perfect their evil. And they recruited some indigenous people in that contraption who helped them to push this agenda of subjugation and slavery. They have pushed so much fear that people have begun to accept abnormality as normal. It is a shame, but that is the situation of Nigeria. We have taken upon ourselves to continue to expose this lie because we know there are wonderful people out there. There are very great and wonderful people over there in the UK, in the United States, in all parts of the world. There are good people. And we are hoping and believing that those good people will open their mouth and speak. We are calling attention of those good people to speak up and call the attention of the government to desist from supporting terrorism in Nigeria. They should desist from promoting and supporting hatred among brothers in Nigeria. We will continue to speak. And while we speak online, we are not just silent. We are working on different fronts to make sure that Nigeria disintegrates peacefully and people will be in their own region, grow in their own space at their own speed. That That is all we are chasing. That is all we want. That is all we are asking for. Every single thing we are seeking for. It is not a selfish pursuit of independence because we are proud, not because we have the resources, not because we have the wisdom and knowledge. It is not out of hatred. It is to save life. To save life. That is why the Biafran cause is very dear to our heart. If you continue to remain in the contraption created by the British, that the Janjaweed are running for them, at a point in time, our generation unborn will not have a home. This is a fact. If nothing is done and this time bomb explodes, no one is going to survive it. It doesn't matter who you are. Nobody is going to be free. In fact, it's going to explode into all the African countries and into Europe and America. Everybody's going to feel the pain. Why don't we stop this now? Why don't we put off this time bomb now? That everybody have confirmed that there is a time bomb in Nigeria is about to explode. Why don't you turn it off while you have the opportunity? What are you waiting for? What is the international community waiting for? You that is out there, why do you think that the Igbo man is your problem? Why do you think that the Biafran man is your problem? Why are you not thinking about the danger ahead of you that you can see, you can feel, you can hear about it every single day on the media, on the social media? Millions and thousands of evidence out there. So many of them that the West have begun to talk about. These are things we have been speaking about for decades ago. Decades ago, we began to shout about the genocide that is happening in Nigeria. Not just about the Christians in the north. Many other regions inclusive. Biafrans more especially are involved in the genocide. It has been ongoing and nobody seemed to pay attention. The genocide against the Christians didn't start yesterday. The genocide against other citizens of that contraption, even though they're not Christians, the indigenous people, genocide against the indigenous Nigerians, has been ongoing for a very long time. Sometimes conducted by the government itself, sponsored and conducted by the government itself. What do you call what happened in Udi? Udi was attacked by the federal government of Nigeria, and what happened there was genocide. Okuama recently, what happened in Okuama was also a genocide by the federal government of Nigeria. What has been happening against the members of IPOB is nothing but genocide. One of them, which the video was shown to late Muhammad Buhari on live video, he refused to watch it. But yet the world kept silent and moved on as if nothing happened. But thank God finally today, a voice has spoken and people are keen in. But they decide to choose a word that will be suitable for them, no problem. They call it Christian genocide in Nigeria. And is there Christian genocide in Nigeria? 100% there is. It has been for a very long time. In the same way, genocide against the citizens of that country is also going. Indigenous people is going on. So if you want to solve the problem of genocide in Nigeria holistically, there should be a disintegration of that contraption. The only thing that is causing the genocide is interest, conflict of interest. And as long as you continue to put people that have different value system together, people that do not have anything in common, as long as you continue to force them to be in a particular place, the genocide will continue. Take it to the bank. As long as you continue to allow Nigeria to exist, whatever you are doing is just putting a deodorant on the problem. That's what you're doing. You are just addressing the surface. But inward, the wound is eating deep. The only permanent solution to the genocide against the Christians, against the indigenous people in Nigeria, is disintegration of the zoo. As soon as you disintegrate the zoo, that interest will die a natural death. The destructive diversity will end. Each region will now practice what they are already practicing today. in the northern part of Nigeria, they have already embraced the caliphate. And Sharia law is going on in northern part of Nigeria comfortably. They don't have the problem with it. The indigenous people in the core north has no problem with Sharia law. So why wouldn't you allow them have it in their own space, within their own region? In the southwest, they like the monarchical system. They appreciate their monarch. They want to be on that direction. Why don't you allow them practice it that they have already started practicing? And those of us in Biafra land, we want a circular system where everybody will have equal rights to express themselves without limitation. Equal rights to pursue any career they want without limitation. Why don't you allow us in our own zone to do that? This is why we are calling for disintegration of Nigeria. It is not out of hatred. It is not going to create any problem. After the disintegration, we can still intermarry. We can still do business. We can still visit each other, just like other people that have disintegrated are doing. It doesn't stop it. But there will be a boundary and limitation to everything. That when you travel to a certain region, you know this is where I am, and this is where what I'm going to respect. This is where I am, and this is what I'm going to respect. And each region will respect each other and their laws. Why is it difficult to understand? It doesn't need rocket science to explain these things. But yet, because of the selfish interest of the West, because of the economic interest of the West, they do not want to hear anything that has to do with disintegration. Because when Nigeria is disintegrated, citizens will begin to hold them accountable. Each region, including the North, we begin to hold them accountable for every single resources that leave their land. But as it stands today, nobody is accountable to the resources they are stealing from Nigeria. None is accountable. And every Western country is involved in this stealing that is happening mainly in Biafra land. The resources in Biafra land are stolen. They are being used for bets. They are being used to seek for favor. And nobody gives an account or measure the quantity or the amount of resources that is leaving Biafra land. The same thing in Oduduwa land, the same thing in the North. Nobody is accountable. As long as the division continues, as long as the confusion continues, as long as the conflict of interest continues, as long as the destructive diversity continues, they will continue to steal your resources without anybody questioning them. Because they know nobody is a Nigerian. Nigeria remains a British company, and the British continue to run the company with some indigenous people in Nigeria. As long as you agree to run the company for them, continue to abide by their rules and regulations of the slave master, they will support you and you win election. That is why during election, you will see them running to Chatham House to go and campaign in UK. What business does the Chatham House got to do with the president in Nigeria? Do you ask yourself, what business do you have going to the UK to take permission to be a president? These are interests that makes them not to speak about the solution of the evil, solution to the evil that is happening in the Zoological Republic. But no matter what they say, what we do will not be silent. Today we have come, as we always do every morning, to speak to the world and speak to the Biafran people. And today we have chosen a topic that we must deal with, because this is where we are today. This topic is where we are today. And I want every single one of us that in this platform, please share this broadcast. Make sure you share this broadcast so that it will reach to somebody. Make sure you invite at least one person. You don't just sit and watch the program alone economically. No, don't economize the program. As you enter, invite at least one person. Give a thumbs up to the program. If you're watching on TikTok, share the program. Tap on the screen. Tap on the screen so that others can get the invitation and come in. If you're watching on Facebook, share the program. If you're watching on YouTube, share it. You can share it on your Twitter handle, share it on your Facebook, share it in all your social media network. Make sure you invite someone on this program. The topic we are discussing today says, they can break our bones, not our mind. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, unbroken confidence, an emotional war on Biafrans. They can break our bones, not our mind. Nnamdi Kanu's unbroken confidence, an emotional war on Biafran people. In a nutshell, this program today is going to focus on emotional blackmail on the Biafran people. Emotional blackmail on every one of us that is a Biafran, that is confessing Biafra. Starting from our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to the least person. There is a great emotional blackmail upon us today, sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria. They use content creators, they use politicians, they use your friends, traders, they use different kinds of people on different areas, both international and local. They use media to push this emotional blackmail on us. Today, we are going to visit that topic. And I want every one of us to pay attention to our discussion of today. I want every one of us to pay attention. Do not be carried away with what you see. Do not be carried away with what you hear. We must be very, very focused. Every single one of us as Biafrans, we must be very, very focused. Wherever you are and you're watching this program, please, I want you to invite somebody in this program. Don't just watch it alone. If you have not yet shared this program, this is the time for you to share the program. Share the program so that other people can join us on this platform today, so that other people can equally get the information that you are getting. Every single thing we are saying here today is very important because it is going to go a long way to save us from the danger ahead. We cannot win this battle running away from each other. We can only win this battle when we put our hands together and fight as one people. When we come together, challenge the enemy and fight as one people, that is when we are going to win this battle. And that is what we are going to do on this program. Please, if you have not yet shared this program, I ask you once again, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okabiam, share this program and let someone come here. More especially the Igbo-Biafrans. This message today, more especially concerns the Igbo-Biafrans. Because when you come to emotional war or emotional blackmail, in anything people plan against Biafra, they always believe that as soon as they can be able to conquer the Igbo tribe, as soon as they can be able to conquer the Igbos, that they are good to go. That is why so many of them, when they want to push their evil agenda, they want to show their relevance or they want to crop in their evil, they start with the Igbo stories. They will tell you one thing or the other and they'll drag Igbo into it. Some of them, they come and they use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to draw your attention. We have seen these things happen again and again, and time has come, we need to address it, and we will not allow it to happen anymore. So my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okabiam, please join us in this very program. Pay attention closely and let us dive into the program of the day. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom and defenders of the truth, I welcome every one of you once again to the voice of resistance, the heart of Biafra. Today, we speak not just about the confidence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but the war that they don't want you to see. The war they don't want you to see. The emotional war. The emotional war. This emotional warfare today is what the Nigerian government is using against us. What the enemies of Biafra is using. But so many of us are not paying attention to it. And it is high time we call the attention of every Biafran to this emotional warfare. I want you to understand. They can lock up a man behind bars, but they can't cage his spirit. They can silence his voice in the courtroom, but they can't silence the courage he planted in millions of hearts, like my own heart and your own heart. No matter how they try to silence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no matter how they try to shut him down, they can't silence the courage Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has planted in millions of Biafrans in our hearts. Nobody can silence it. This is not just about politics. It's about psychological warfare, media manipulation, emotional sabotage targeted at the Igbo-Biafran soul. Did you hear what I said? What you are seeing today that is happening in the zoological republic of Nigeria. What is happening today is not just about politics. Like some people will say, marginalization of people. This is not just about that. It's not just about politics. You want to be a president. That is not what it's all about. At the stage where we are today, it's about psychological warfare. That is what they are waging against us. Media manipulation, which I have exposed many times over and over here. Emotional sabotage, targeted at the Igbo-Biafran soul. And today they are using content creators. They are using their media. They use even our fellow brothers and sisters. They use them to blackmail us. You see many of them making video, attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, calling him different kinds of names. You see many of them making video, attacking Mazi Simon Ekpa, calling him different kinds of names. Sometimes you see them, they play to one side and think they are supporting you. Some of them will present Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and tell you how good he is. The next thing, they will turn the blame on you and make you feel that you are the problem and not them. Any content creator, any speaker that comes online to make you feel that you are the problem, that the Igbos are the problem of what they are facing, tell that person is a liar. Don't pay attention. More especially when that person is not one of us. When that person is not one of us, and the person will come to try to educate you to tell you that you are the cause of your problem. These are manipulations. Emotional manipulations. Don't pay attention to it. It doesn't matter who the person is. As I said before, only the Igbos knows how an Igbo man feels, an Igbo woman feels. Only the Igbo people know how they feel, what they are going through, and how their pain is. If you're not an Igbo man, you are not an Igbo woman, you can't tell us how we feel. You will not understand how we feel. You can never, ever fathom how we feel. You can never. We appreciate your concern. We appreciate your explanation, but I bet you don't know how we feel. every Igbo person should begin to pay attention to emotional blackmail. And the most dangerous thing today, they have known and seen our weakness. They know the way we love, that when we love with all our heart. When we give with everything in us. They know. And today, when they see those areas where we love, they use it against us. They bring their blackmail. And at the end of the day, they will tell you, you are the cause of your problem. They will divert your attention and channel your energy against your own brother. We know that we have some idiots who claim to be Igbos, but they are not. And we don't need anybody to educate us about those idiots. We know them. And when the time comes, we will deal with them. We don't need any outsider to come and educate us about these clowns among us. We know them. But at the same time, we know why they are surviving. We know why they are where they are. We know why they are doing what they are doing. That is why we are focused on the real enemy. When you cut off the head of the snake, that is the only time we'll be sure that you have defeated the snake. But when you cut the tail of the snake can still strike. And the poison can still be very, very effective. The only way to remove the snake completely is to cut off the head of the snake. And the body will become useless. But when you cut the tail, this head will still be as poisonous as ever. The head will still survive and continue to cause damage, to take as many lives as it can. But when you take off that head, that is the end of the story. You know, in my platform, I don't like calling names. I don't like calling names, unless when it becomes necessary. But I expect anybody that has been watching my program should be able to be applying their common sense. Whenever I throw a message, you apply your common sense and know where it is going and make the necessary applications. We are on social media. We are on social media. And in our message, we try to be as civil as we can. What you are seeing today that is happening in Nigeria, it is not just politics. It's about psychological warfare, media manipulation, and emotional sabotage, targeted at the Igbo-Biafran soul. Every Igbo-Biafran must stop sleeping. We must keep our eyes open, be awake at all times. Biafrans, this is time to be emotionally intelligent. This is the time for every Biafran to be emotionally intelligent, not reactive, not broken, but strategic and confident. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is nothing they have not thrown on him. We should borrow leave from our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is nothing that has not been thrown at him, but yet he is not reactive. He is not broken. He is strategic and confident whenever he appears. Even when we get worried, whenever he appears, you see the way his appearance energizes the Biafrans and give us a new face and new strength to fight on. Appearance of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't come to make us cry. It doesn't appear in the cause to make us feel pity for him, no. Every of his appearance gives us courage to speak out more, gives us courage to demand for our rights, gives us courage to pursue that which is needed for our freedom. Biafrans, this time, the time that we are in, it is time for us to be emotionally intelligent. Every single one of us as Biafrans, you must be emotionally intelligent, especially the Biafrans, Igbo-Biafrans especially, Igbo-Biafrans. You must not be reactive. You must not be broken. You must be strategic and confident at all times. Just like our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just like our prime minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. he has never wavered. Even in the territory of the enemies. You can imagine Mazi Simon Ekpa on international stage, where the European Union are, where the main devil that is controlling the world, where they are. And yet he refused to denounce Biafra. And yes, he stood his ground and ready to face whatever be the outcome. Mazi Simon Ekpa is very, very emotionally intelligent. The same thing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These our leaders are emotionally intelligent. There is nothing you can do to break them down. Nothing. There's nothing that has not been thrown at them. Nothing. Privately, publicly, public life, private life. There's nothing that has not been thrown on them. But you don't see them. They're not reactive. They are not broken. But every time they are strategic and confident. Look at the way the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going. He's not bothered. This is the time for us to be emotionally intelligent. I want every one of us to understand this clearly. Wherever you are watching us, I want you to understand this clearly. The Nigerian government, their handlers, knows that they can't defeat truth. They know very well. The Nigerian government and their handlers know they can't. They can never defeat the truth. So they try to destroy your emotional balance. They try to destroy our emotional balance. That is what they are doing today through their media, using content creators, including content creators that are of Igbo origin. That is why you must be careful who you watch, what you're listening to. Be very careful. Be very careful. And you must be emotionally intelligent for you to survive this time that we are in. They have unleashed all manner of propaganda and blackmails. The emotional attack on Biafrans, the emotional blackmail on Biafrans is unimaginable. And more are coming. More are coming. It is much more dangerous that they will use your brother, your sister, your colleague, your fellow agitator to push their agenda. They go to any length. Every one of us must prepare for what is coming. They are trying to destroy our emotional balance. And what they are doing is that they use fear to make you silent. They use fear to make you silent. The kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was to silence Biafra completely. And when they couldn't succeed, they saw that Mazi Simon Ekpa became much more outspoken than you can ever imagine. Biafra became louder. When they introduced that fear by kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we refused to be afraid. Mazi Simon came on board. Even with all their threat, he continued. They didn't succeed. They put their social media laws everywhere, different kinds of laws to make sure that we don't speak. But we are not bothered. We move forward as long as we are working in line with international law. We are not scared. As long as everything that we are doing is in line with international law, their threat is not for us. They use mockery to make you doubt yourself. They use mockery. They mock us at all times to make us doubt ourselves. That is why you see some of them, when they come out, they will tell you, you are the cause of your problem. You are the cause of your problem. Your people are not supporting you. If you see the problems we have within ourselves, we the Biafran, but when I have a problem, when I see somebody who is not a Biafran coming in to educate me about what the cause of my problem is, it's really laughable. The only thing you see there is mockery. Some of them, when they come, they talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you think they like him. They just want to mock you. When they use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in their program, when they speak about Mazi Nnamdi, at the end of it, you see mockery. That is how you identify those people. Don't just listen to people because they call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they put picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. listen carefully to the message they are passing. There are people, even of Igbo extraction, that are doing that. When they talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they mock you. At the end of the day, you look deep into what they say, it is just mockery to mock you. But some of us, emotionally, we fall into that trap. And you say, oh, he's right. Oh, he talked about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, yes, our people are not even doing anything. Our people are not doing anything. We are the ones that are the holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are the ones that say he will not release. We are the ones who are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down. We say that we know that there are interests. But the person that is speaking, what is their motive? That person that is talking that rubbish, what effort has he or she made for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if you're concerned? Because we are talking about humanity here. This mockery, so many of us are not paying attention. So many people today that talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, speak about Mazi Samareba, they mock us. You know, there was a time when their mockery was in the open. They do it without minding. But today, for the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have won the heart of public opinion today is 100% on the side of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So people know that when they come in and condemn Mazi Nnamdi Kanu directly, that people are not going to pay attention. People will be wondering if you are living on the planet Earth or what. What they come is they come with mockery. They start with a kind of a statement that you would think that maybe they are neutral or maybe they are trying to say something reasonable or they're trying to provide a solution. But at the end of the day, they are mocking you. These are what we are seeing today to attack our emotional balance. And some of us are falling victim. Another thing they have as their plan, they use as a weapon, is division. Dividing to make you fight your own brothers. They divide us to make us fight ourselves. Intentionally, they do it. And I bet you, some of us are not paying attention. Most of the division we have today has its origin from the government of Nigeria, from those that hate Biafra, from the haters of the Igbos. They push this narrative. You think they are providing solution. At the end of the day, their target is to create division. Their target is creative. And some people innocently fall victim, thinking that these people mean well for them. But at the end of the day, they will use you to achieve their own aim. Through that emotional blackmail, and they destroy emotional balance. You begin to think that they are talking about the war. Meanwhile, their main mission is to make you fight against your brother. They divide us. They create division to make you fight your own brother. That is the weapons they use against us at this present time that we must be very careful about. Another thing that they use in this present day is propaganda. Propaganda to make you lose focus. They use propaganda to make us look focused. And I bet you many of us Biafrans are falling for this nonsense. Many of us Biafrans are falling for this nonsense. Unconfirmed information, propaganda. Sometimes they will create a content and they send it to the social media with an Igbo name or with a Biafran name. And at the same time, they will go back and tell you, oh, that was a propaganda. It wasn't true. So and so said this, and they posted members of IPOB or somebody posted this. These are all manipulations. These are manipulations to attack our emotions, and we must be awake at all times. If you have not shared this program, please share this program. This topic is something that is of concern for everyone. The attack on our emotional balance today that they are doing against us using content creators. There is one that is on top of the game today. There is one content creator, very popular content creator that all of you know. Today, he is the one championing this emotional blackmail against us. But initially, when he comes and talks about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you think he meant well, right? You thought he meant well, but look at where he's coming. If you say you're an activist, a protest was held for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man, that every single person accept that he's innocent. Public opinion have confirmed that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. So what you should have done is to use your platform to promote that very protest. There is nothing that stops you to being in that protest. You're supposed to be there. You are supposed to be there. A protest champion, not even by an Igbo person, a Yoruba man, but you were not there. Instead, you came in and you created a distraction. At the peak of that protest, you created a distraction. You created a distraction to distract and drive the mind of people from the in thing that was happening. And this is part of the manipulation and emotional blackmail I'm talking about. You push that agenda. And today, that chaos is still there. Today, when you look at everything that is happening in your speech, it's an attack, a blackmail against the Igbo people. The same thing we are fighting against. You see, my fellow Biafrans, we Igbos, we are so emotional. When we support with our heart, our mind. When we give everything. We don't even keep reserve. But I think time has come. Time has come for us to change the way we do things and the way we think. Time has come for us to look into our emotional intelligence. We need to build on that. Build on that. So many of us are not emotionally intelligent. So many of us, we are not. When somebody praises you, oh, Igbo men do that, you begin to clap. You forget everything, you begin to clap, and you lose your senses. When somebody says, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, after all, you didn't do anything, you lose your senses. You don't do anything. You lose your senses completely. And then you push the person to the height, and the person now begin to control what you say and what you do. Control the narrative. Shift your mind from what you are supposed to do, and you'll be doing something different. Before you realize it, it's too late. We must be very careful. You must be very careful. With all this emotional blackmail they threw against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, all the propaganda, all these strategies we applied against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But what did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu do? How did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu handle it? How did Mazi Simon Ekpa handle these issues when he came up? Because he came up. They use even Biafrans, Igbo-Biafrans, to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They use Igbo-Biafrans to blackmail Mazi Simon Ekpa emotionally. We saw it. How did they handle it? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu faced the enemy with calmness. He was calm at all times. He faced the enemy with composure. He faced the enemy with confidence. Even in the lion's den, he never lost control of his emotions. Have you seen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the court? Did you see the way the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going? They throw everything at him. He started the same way he started the case is how he said it. And I'm going to play some videos that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made before we got to where we are today. I want to take you to the video Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made before we got to where we are today. I want to take you to where the videos that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made before we got to the video. So you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is composed. His composure is top-notch. There is nothing to be compared with it. I want you to see his statement that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made before we got to where we are today, and you compare it to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying today. This stance that he had taken, the stance that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had taken, that say no case. This no case submission of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I want you to listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said from the earlier part of his case to this day. Thank you, that the internet never forgets. The internet never forgets. I want you to listen to this.
Me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. They removed it. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. They removed that long because since this offense was committed in England, so they said it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Yeah, based on that, they removed London. Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London. Location of the broadcast. Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196, 174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022. In violation of their own laws. Violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where all these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
You see how they were violating their law. All to provoke Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to anger. All to manipulate him. All to deal with him emotionally. They turn around their case, the law against Mazi Nnamdi, even when they know that they have no legal right to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Their law says that. It is not just that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying, no, you can't try me. No, this is what the Nigerian law says. But you see, when they push this information in their own media, you see some of them, when they analyze in the media, they talk in their media as if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a novice. He doesn't know what is it. Why will he say he will not defend himself? Why will Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not take a stand? Why will Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not take a defense? But their law says that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, their law says that they don't even have the right to sit on the case of Mazi Nnamdi. That is what the law says. And from day one, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows this. They try to bully him. They try to push him right and to break him down, to make him make that mistake. They push him right, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continue to stand on his ground up to this minute as we speak. On the other occasion, I want you to listen to this. What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also said. The same thing on his case.
Or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. As simple as that. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committing an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. And have in my case.
You see what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, quoting their law for them before the press, before the whole world. And what is their aim of going against their own law? All these things are emotional blackmail to attack Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and make sure that he loses focus. But I tell you, from all these distractions to make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deviate from the right way to defend himself, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remained calm. He remained composed and he remained confident that the Nigerian government has no jurisdiction to try him. All he needs is to present his case, quote the law for them, lawfully, according to their own law, not even international law this time, according to Nigerian law. Every single thing he quoted here was according to Nigerian law. You cannot stand on illegality and begin to talk about legality. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world, including in their own law. But you go to their media, they try to blackmail. They try to use that emotional sentiment. They use their media like that ape face in her eyes. The ape face. When I played the video, so you see how he was saying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it's not sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu know the consequence of not representing himself. He knows the consequence of not standing trial. Some of them say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is running away from trial. When, at the first place, no case is against him. There's no case against him. What do you want to try? So I played these videos for you to understand how focused and calm Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been upon all the attack on his emotion, upon all the manipulation and emotional blackmail upon him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remain calm, remain composed, and remain confident. Even in the lion den, he never lost control of his emotions. How many of us can be able to stand and have this kind of emotional intelligence that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has, that Mazi Simon Ekpa also has? What you are seeing in the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is emotional intelligence in action. Emotional intelligence in action. You saw him last time when he called out, when he came into the court, he invoked the God of justice and called their media to make sure they carried out that, make sure that they got it, to make sure that the media caught that word. He invoked the God of justice upon the Zolika Republic and called out the evil media and their evil. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have displayed emotional intelligence to the highest level. And this is what every single one of us as Biafrans today know we need. More especially the Igbo-Biafrans, you need it. You need it because the government of Nigeria have unleashed many media warriors. They have unleashed many social media warriors. There are many, thousands of. Go to TikTok, you see them everywhere. You see them everywhere, blackmailing. Some of them, they will start with a story. You think they are with you. At the end of the day, just give them a second. You listen carefully to where they are coming from. They will end up turning you against your brother. They will end up telling you that your brother is your problem. They will end up telling you that it is your brother that is holding myself. And all of us know that the ball lies on the table of the head of state. The presidency has the right to give the order. Nobody controls him or tells him what to do or what not to do. The executive have the right. Their duty is to implement the law. The duty of the executive is to implement the law. And that was why the protest that was held by Omoyele Sowore, which Aloy Ejimakor attended, was a protest to the presidency, to the executive, to implement the law. All they were asking is that executive, implement the law. The judiciary have interpreted the law. Implement it. The appeal court have interpreted the law. Implement the law that the appeal court have interpreted. That's what the protest was all about. Everybody has to tighten up their belt. This is the time we all, more especially Igbo-Biafrans, you need that emotional intelligence. You need that emotion. Now that you see there's a lot of attack, even in your midst of livelihood, they have taken over their, what do they call it? Their governance. You are not part of it. You are not part of their Nigeria. But today, they are crippled into your business. The attack today is on the business where they know that you have a stronghold. They have attacked your finance, attack your buildings, your marketplace, but now they want to attack the source of the business itself. Nigeria attack on the Igbos is not stopping. It's not stopping. They gave you 20 pounds after the Civil War and you survived. They can't imagine how could they give you 20 pounds and you survive. You still come and you do your business. They increase your tax. You pay the tax and you continue your business. They increase the amount you use in clearing your goods. They impose tax in every item you bring, yet you are progressing. Now, they are going to attack the source itself. And they are already failing. But you must be emotionally strong. You must be emotionally strong so that you don't gamble into something or you speak against yourself or you walk against yourself. You must be emotionally strong. What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has displayed this period in the court is what we call emotional intelligence in action. Controlling your reaction in the face of manipulation. Controlling your reaction in the face of manipulation. As they continue to manipulate, don't just react. Don't just react. Don't just be reactive. Be calm, be composed and confident and focus on the reality of the day. When the world expects him to explode, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes and he smiles. When they think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will explode, he will come and he will smile. When they hope he would crumble, he stood tall. When they tried to break his followers, he told them, no retreat, no surrender. We are Biafrans. When they tried to break us up, you saw him speak in the court. He said, I agitate for Biafra. It is my right to agitate for Biafra. That word is so powerful and strong. Because in a normal sense, it is because of Biafra that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the court of Nigeria. It is why they are persecuted, because of self-determination of the Biafran people. And they want him to stop mentioning that word. But in their court, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hits his chest and say, I agitate for Biafra. It is my right to agitate for Biafra. And that word gave us courage, strength, more energy to fight on. In the same vein, Mazi Simon Ekpa spoke in the court. When he was visited in the court, he also said that we should remain strong. No retreat, no surrender. We should keep faith and continue to march on. These are men that can control their emotions. Emotional, intelligent in action. You that is a Biafran, wherever you are today, this is the time for us to activate that emotional intelligence. Borrow leaf from our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. I want Biafrans to learn these lessons. Every single Biafran, wherever you are, please share this broadcast if you're not sharing it. If you have not shared this broadcast, share it. Click like to the broadcast, share it and click like. If you're watching on TikTok, tap on the screen and share. If you're watching on Facebook, tap on the screen and share. Share on Facebook. You're watching on YouTube, share the broadcast and click like. Listen carefully, my people of Biafra, lovers of freedom across the world. This struggle is not just physical. The struggle for Biafra is not just physical. It is psychological warfare. If you don't know that, you better know that now. This struggle for Biafra is not just physical. It's psychological warfare. They are not fighting your body. They are fighting your mind and emotions. That is where we are today. The major warfare that is going on today, the major warfare is against our mind and our emotions. If they can make you angry at your own people, if they can make you angry at your brother, at your own people, they win. This is why in my platform, I am mindful to what I say. It doesn't matter how aggrieved I am. There are so many things that I don't agree with in the cause that we are pursuing. But when I make my speech, I mind my words. I don't feed the enemy what they want to hear. I don't come to my platform to feed the enemy. I don't do that. I don't come to my platform to create a content for enemy to feed on. No. If they can make you angry at your own people, they win. If they can make you believe you are powerless, they win. If they can make you lose emotional control, they win. These are things we have to guide against. Because any one of these things that we lose, they win. They win. They will rejoice. They will celebrate. I will take it again. If they can make you angry at your own brother, they win. If they make you believe you are powerless, they win. If they make you lose emotional control, they win. Wherever you are, you must pay attention. But if you master your emotion, stand firm in confidence and faith, you will win. Every one of us should be able to master our emotions, stand firm in our confidence and faith. In that, we can win and remain a winner. They will not dare us. My fellow Biafrans, these informations are very important. That is why I say you don't watch alone. You call your neighbors to get this information. In this emotional warfare and blackmail, every one of us must stand up. If you master your emotions, stand firm in confidence, faith, you win. This is why emotional stability is now revolutionary weapon. Emotional stability is now a revolutionary weapon. Maybe you don't know. Now you know. A calm mind can be manipulated. When you are calm, you cannot be manipulated. A focused heart can't be distracted. When your heart is focused, you cannot be distracted. A confident Biafran can't be broken. If you have confidence in yourself, you believe in your Biafranness with confidence, you can never be broken. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter how many people they imprison. It doesn't matter how many people they kill. It doesn't matter how many people they take out. You will not be broken. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, it is a time for action. It is a time for a call for action. So today, I challenge every listener in this program today, wherever you are, whichever nation you come from, wherever nation you're watching from, whether Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Africa, Biafra land, I challenge every listener. Take your mind back from your oppressor. Take your mind back from your oppressor. Those manipulators you are following online. Those manipulators, you think they are of good for you. Some of you call them activists. You confuse them for activists. Some of you see them as Messiah, but they are oppressors. Take your mind back from your oppressors. Stop letting the media define how you feel. Every one of us should stop letting the media define how we feel. Let the confidence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be your mirror. The confidence of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be our mirror, each and every one of us. That should be the only mirror that we have. Not the media. Not the media. Not the media. Not the fear they project out there. Let the confidence of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be your mirror. Not the fear they project out there. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, I want you to repeat this word along with me wherever you are. Wherever you are watching this program from, I want you to repeat this word with me. They can't break my mind. They can't break my spirit. I am Biafra, unshakable and free. I want you to repeat this word wherever you are watching me from. Say this word yourself. Say it yourself. They can't break my mind. They can't break my spirit. I am Biafra, unshakable and free. Say it again and again and again. Comment that word below in this platform as you're watching. Comment it on the comment section. Let's flood this live chat with those words of power. They can't break my mind. They can't break my spirit. I am Biafra, unshakable and free. We have come a long way. And we are going to win this battle. A lot has happened, and a lot is going to happen. We must be able to take over our mind. Don't allow your mind to be manipulated. We need emotional intelligence now. Every one of us. Activate your emotional intelligence. The time is now. The time is now. There is no other time than this time that we are in. We have reached to the last point, the elastic limit. That is where we are. That is why you must prepare yourself. Every secret is now exposed. Every secret is now exposed. Whatever is hidden is now in the open. The messages we have been preaching for decades, what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been preaching for decades and people refuse to listen. Today, every single one of them, they are the one preaching it. That is why you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appear in smiles even in a difficult time. The Christian genocide that they are preaching again today, this is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have preached for long, long years ago. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke about Christian genocide. The issue of Boko Haram, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke about it in London when he was protesting on behalf of the Nigerians, not Biafra. Some of you don't know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu protested for this so-called Nigeria. Some of you do not know that our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu protested for Nigeria in London, in the public. I don't know if I can find the video to play it. I know many of you have seen that video. But for the sake of those who did not see it, I wish I could be able to get that video so that I can play it. You will see where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was protesting for Nigeria in London.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu. The reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children and men, for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy. We are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families. People who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government through the High Commissioner that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done. And the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria.
You have had the person you see protesting there is our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, protesting on behalf of Nigeria. And he said it in ABC, northern part of Nigeria, the killing in northern part of Nigeria should be stopped by Boko Haram. And that was the genocide of Christians that they are talking about today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talked about it a decade ago, warned them, protested in London. Did you hear him mention Biafra there? Did you hear anything Biafra in his mouth? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never mentioned anything Biafra. It was a protest to save Nigeria. And he warned them, if you continue to force people through your Boko Haram organization to join a religion which is not theirs, you will end up create a breakup of the country. That's what it's going to lead to. That what we want is a peaceful coexistence between every religion, every tribe, and every group. That was the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In London, in the street of London, you saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the street of London protesting. Many years ago, nobody paid attention. The P-man that is talking today was there. He didn't pay attention then. The international community ignored. Everybody ignored it. But today, finally, this thing that he said has now been brought up. And do you see how evil and manipulative Nigerian government is? they are so shameless to the extent that they go ahead, begin to bribe both bishops and whatever to come and say that it doesn't happen, that the genocide is not true. But you and I know that the genocide is true. And for some of you who doesn't know how serious it is, I am still going to play a video that I came across that has to do with that genocide. I want you to pay attention to the revelation, to how terrible the situation is. Because so many of us do not know how terrible it is. So many of you don't know how serious this issue is. You will see the kind of what they are doing to the Christian girls in the northern part of Nigeria. I want you to pay attention to what is happening to the Christian girls in northern part of Nigeria.
To the rocky areas. In the night, they kidnapped her. While other Muslims were there, the Fulani didn't touch their same faith of Islam. They selected Christians, girls, and went and butchered them with rape. The doctor here did his best. They arrived at this hospital almost 12 midnight after being kidnapped. This is the life of a Christian in Nigeria.
Again, for the sake of just a background, what actually happened? When exactly did it happen, and how did it happen?
Exactly when they were there, she was taking care of her mother. Her mother came, the one we saw. She was on admission here. And when they came, she was working here as a tender in this hospital, taking care of both the Christian and the Muslim that are on admission. In the evening, you will see Fulani people here, in which I met them the other time. But they came directly in the night around 8 p.m. They do what they do. They snatch them with swords in their hands, with AK-47. They refuse to shoot, because very close, the military are there. As I've been told, even the day before yesterday, they wanted to enter the village, but without the military, they stood on their ground to face them. They run back into the rock. This is the life of a Christian. And when they took her away, they do what they want, and she came back. Together with the other girl that were going to their house right now, down there into the village of Marriage.
Okay, so again, where did they come from? How did it happen? And for how long did this incident last? And let's also know when exactly, which day.
It's just last week. You see? On Saturday. And it's the same Saturday they kidnapped the wife of Reverend Zafania Mangut. Some went there for kidnapping, some came to this place for devious act. That same Saturday, what is the name of the date of Saturday? It has escaped my memory. Is it 24?
Yeah.
Today is
that will be 25th.
Okay, 25th.
October.
Then minus about 7 days or 8 days. The last Saturday.
It was 15. Or 17.
That was the day that she was kidnapped. And this thing happened in this hospital.
So let's get it clear. They raided the hospital, snatched these young girls, yes, who were attending to patients.
Yes.
And raped them in the
nearby rocks, this hill that is right there, behind that village.
Okay, so earlier you were talking about how they crawled back from the mountains, from the hills.
After they have finished it, they left them in pain, in agony,
They find their way. Some of them were crawling into the hospital, shouting for help. Then those that were inside, they came and picked them into the hospital. And the doctors were able to do justice. And that's why today, they are alive.
Okay, so when they came in, was there any reaction? Were there people? How did it happen? Were people panicking? The other
people were panicking. Look at them with swords, and look at them with AK-47. All they were panicking. So some were praying they have to faint because they thought that they are going to kill. But the Fulani that are on a mission were there. They were also calm.
So do we know why they went for these ones in particular?
We don't know. The truth is we don't know. But the real blueprint to deal with Arna, to deal with Christians, if they cannot rape them, let us kidnap them, plunder them, destroy their farm crops, invade their villages, kill them. That is Islamic agenda on Christian in Nigeria.
I hope you have heard it. You know, when we talk about these issues, Nigerian government are continue to deny it for all I care. But every day you see eyewitness. This one just happened 17th of October. This one just happened recently on the 17th of October. Meanwhile, they are busy denying that not. Look, this very confession you see, just 17th of October. That was yesterday. This is what the Christians are facing in the country from God, Nigeria. And the interesting thing is that, the disturbing thing is that the people who are sponsoring these criminal entities is Nigerian government. How else, if not them, why are they not doing anything about it? Why are they not doing anything? We have seen videos where villagers called the attention of the military and they never paid attention. We have even seen a report where the military themselves called for a backup and nobody came to back them up. Simply because those people have been marked for sacrifice. The government of Nigeria have already marked them for sacrifice. So no amount of call that you make that anybody's going to pay attention. And we see this thing over and over again. But when we talk about this, people will think it is out of hate or out of. I tell you, we the Biafran people, we have come a very long way. And there is no amount of emotion that is going to stop us. No amount of emotion, that emotional blackmail that is going to stop us from doing what we are supposed to do. So wherever you are as a Biafran, we must have to sit up. We must have to deal with the evil that is before us. And we must have to make sure that we do not allow these people to continue to blackmail us emotionally. If there is any other time you use your emotional intelligence, it is now. If you don't have one, you should borrow leave. Just look on our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and look at our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Egba. These are people who have already paid the ultimate price, putting everything on the line, including their life. Including their life. They put their career on the line, not minding whatever anybody says, not minding the implications. They put their career on the line. And they are ready to do everything humanly possible to see that they are free. We will continue to report when we say Nigerian government is involved in this atrocity. That is a terrorist government. It is not just a blackmail. There are evidence. Look at this report here from Amnesty International. Kasena killing, Amnesty International condemned Nigerian government failure to arrest perpetrators, leading to more attacks. Sahara Reporters read. So let us go to this. Let us read this report from Sahara Reporters. And we got to look at it. You know, sometimes when we make these accusations, if you don't expatiate on it, those who just came across the video will think that maybe you are blackmailing the government or you are just lying against them. or you come online to spill lies. So that is why in all our program, we try as much as possible to go into the social media, into their media network. Sahara is a very popular media that they use for propaganda sometimes and all that. And you see the report that is coming from them. Sahara report, as he said, Katsina killing. Amnesty International condemn Nigeria government. Failure to arrest perpetrators leading to more attacks. They will not arrest. Never, they will not. But if it were to be to continue to lie against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and illegally detain an innocent man that is asking for self-determination, that one, they don't see it as a problem. They do it again and again and again and again as many times as possible. So let's see. That is it. Katsina killings. Amnesty International condemned Nigerian government failure to arrest perpetrators, leading to more attacks. This report is coming from Amnesty International. So you wouldn't say it is IPOB International. No, it is Amnesty International. Amnesty International described it as another grim reminder of the worsening insecurity in northern Nigeria. Global human rights body, the Amnesty International, strongly condemned the brutal attack on worshippers during dawn prayers at mosque in Nama village, Malamfashi local government area of Katsina State. The Amnesty International described it as another grim reminder of the worsening insecurity in northern Nigeria. In a statement issued on Wednesday night, the organization noted that the number of casualties was still unclear. And that is the issue of Nigeria. Nigeria will never tell, whenever they tell you they lost 10 people, know that it's 100 people. They will never give you the actual estimate of people, number of people that died. Never, ever. And Amnesty has confirmed it here. Dozens of people that tried to escape are still missing, while many critical injured are receiving treatment at hospital. According to Amnesty International, residents said that bandits stormed the mosque in the early hours of Wednesday, opened fire on worshippers and butchered 9 homes before they fled into the surrounding forest. According to the residents, security forces later arrived at the scene, but the attackers had already escaped. You see, this attack they are reporting here is attack against a mosque. And if you go there and check the mosque, it might be this liberal mosque, those places that do not agree with the issue of terrorism. If you go there, it will be the indigenous mosque where you have the Hausas. Go and make verification. You'll find that it is the Hausas that own that mosque, those who are not involved in their terrorism. And that is why they attack that mosque. So when they come and say that they also attack, nobody said that no, they attack mosque. Those of them who do not believe in what they believe, they attack them. It happens. But majority project, their project is on the Christians. That's where their focus is. That is the truth and nothing but the truth. Amnesty International linked the latest violent attack to a pattern of repeated assault on rural communities in Katsina and on other parts of Nigeria, northwest, where bandit gangs are terrorized villages through mass killing, kidnapping and arson and ransom. The group recalled that the incident occurred almost 2 months after gunmen killed over 50 when they attacked a mosque in Ogunwan Muntum village in the same local government area. In the same local government, go and check that local government, verify. These people must be indigenous people. If you go there and verify, you will discover that these people that are being attacked, they are the indigenous Hausas. The indigenous Hausas, they are the ones that are in this mosque that they are bent, they are attacking and destroying, and they have a reason for doing it. Land grabbing. Land grabbing. Land grabbing. Amnesty criticized government response to such atrocities, arguing that repeated statements of condemnation have done little to protect citizens or bringing perpetrators to justice. You see, within a month, the attack and lives are lost. Nigerian government doesn't do anything. Whenever it happens, they issue a statement, they issue a warning, and nothing is done. And the bandits continue to run rampage. But when it is in the Biafran land, go to Okigwe today. They are still rampaging in Okigwe. Go to Okigwe, you will still see them, what they are doing in Okigwe today. Taking in life of innocent youths, destroying lives and property in Okigwe. Even as we speak, they are still attacking Okigwe. Go to Olo, blood, innocent blood is still flowing. Their armor tank is filled everywhere in Okigwe. But in places where the terrorists that these people don't have anything they are pursuing. In the case of we, the Biafrans, all we are asking is for self-determination. Our reason, purpose, and demand is clear. Self-determination. But what is the need of these people? These terrorists, what do they need? What do they need? What are they chasing? You see why we are calling for the disintegration of the zoo. If what they want is a caliphate, let the core not go their separate ways. They already have their Sharia. Let them practice it among themselves, peacefully, without any interaction, without any interruption from anybody. Allow them to go ahead with it, with those who go along with them. If you're not comfortable with it, you can travel to areas where will be suitable for you. A genuine commitment to protecting the people must be demonstrated by ensuring adequate security of lives and property, as well as ensuring justice for victims, the organization added. You only come and say, this Amnesty International, only talking. This is not the first, not the second, not the third, not the 10th, and will not be the last. And somebody is still there. When they say designate Nigeria as a country of concern, some people are fighting it. Some people are fighting it. That Nigeria should not be designated. Why wouldn't Nigeria be designated as a country of concern? Why wouldn't it happen? In fact, this is something that would have happened longer than now. Do you know how many innocent blood have been spilled? And yet, nobody cares. It further warned consistent failure of Nigerian authority to bring the actual suspect perpetrators to justice is emboldening impunity and leaving rural communities constantly bracing up for the next attack. Exactly. Katsina State, the home state of late former President Muhammadu Buhari, has remained one of the epicenter of Nigerian worsening banditry crisis. Of course, it has to be because Muhammadu Buhari personally sponsored the incoming of these terrorists from all West Africa. So why wouldn't he invade the hometown? Muhammadu Buhari personally sold out Katsina State to Fulanis in all West Africa. He said they should come. They will be given visa at the port of entry. He said it in national TV. And why is Amnesty International pretending as if they don't know? Why is the world pretending as if they don't know? Muhammadu Buhari opened the border and said all Fulani from West Africa should come in. We have seen their governors come to national TV to say that every Fulani is a Nigerian. Every Fulani man, they don't even care about your Nigeria. They are Fulani. Wherever they are Fulani. They are first of all Fulani before they are anything. And today they are looking for land. After El-Rufai and Muhammadu Buhari went and paid them and brought them in to come and remove Goodluck Jonathan. And you now want to, you are now confused. The earlier the world break up Nigeria and allow this late Muhammad Buhari with the spirit and the people he brought to remain in that northern part of Nigeria, the better for them. They can sort their problem out. Break up the country, allow them to sort their problem out. Why do you have to be bothering other people for the problem you created by yourself? Why? Over the past years, bandits have carried out hundreds of attacks targeting farmers, traders, school children, religious congregations. Despite multiple military operations and peace initiatives, the violent attack and killing have persisted, displacing thousands and crippling local economy. Security analysts say weak intelligence network, inadequate policing, and corruption within security agencies have made rural areas especially vulnerable. Amnesty International and other rights groups have reportedly argued Nigerian authorities to take decisive action, arguing that until justice is served and communities are protected, bandit attack killings will remain a recurring nightmare for citizens across the northern region of the country. And from what you see, does it look like it's going to stop? It is not going to stop. Not today, not tomorrow, not anytime soon. It is not going to stop. The atrocities against the innocent people will continue. The attack against the innocent citizens will continue. It doesn't matter the grammar that Amnesty International speak. It doesn't matter what they say. The truth remains the truth. If you care about Nigeria, support the state of Biafra. If you care about Nigeria, support the establishment of Biafra, recognize Biafra. Once Biafra is recognized, Oduduwa will go their separate ways, Arewa will go their separate ways, Middle Belt will go, and people will now confidently grow in their own space, at their own speed, protect their own region, practice the religion they want, the system they want, without any interruption. Only that will bring peace. That is why we say we are presenting Biafra as a remedy, not out of pride, not out of envy, not out of jealousy, not out of wickedness. We present Biafra as a remedy, that when Biafra becomes free, every indigenous person in Nigeria will be free. People can settle in their own area, protect their own boundaries, and be who they want to be. That is what we're asking for. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much of a request to make? I don't think it is too much. That is the normal thing that we are asking for. And I believe and hope, by the special grace of Chukwu Okike, that this zoo has ended and will never, ever rise again. It will never rise again. I want us to hear this message from Lolo Nneka also. Let's hear the message coming from Lolo Nneka.
Hello guys, this is Lolo Nneka Chimenze. I want to use this opportunity to call all Christian leaders to rise and start defending Christian. All church owners, church leaders, bishops, pastors, to rise and start defending Christians.
Sorry, I'm going to start it again. Let's see if we can get it out.
This is Lolo Nneka Chimenze. I want to use this opportunity to call all Christian leaders to rise and start defending Christian. All church owners, church leaders, bishops, pastors, to rise and start defending Christians. I can see that there is a lot of politicking in the Christendom. We're here in 2012, 13, 14, when a prominent pastor, Pastor Enoka Adeboye and Tunde Bakari, led a protest against a fellow Christian president. Not just that, to install a Muslim, not just a Muslim president, an Islamic extremist. And they will not say they don't know. Why did they lead this protest? Because they believe that because their people are going to be in that one, it's like that alliance is like alliance between the North and the Southwest. So the Christians defiled the Christian body and led the protest to install an Islamic extremist.
Fundamentalist.
Pastor Adeboye will not say he doesn't know what
he knows.
Stands for or
he knows.
Stands for. Because there was an agenda that they are going to confiscate and inherit Igbo properties. So for Pastor Adeboye, it's not about Christians, it's about his tribe. Even if it means installing evil, he did. Because the discrimination started from within Christian Church of God. Now, having said all this, I am challenging Pastor Adeboye. If you say you are a true Christian, a Christian has been judged by the Sharia law in Abuja. When they want to install this Sharia court in the Southwest, you all rise and defended it. So are you keeping mum because you felt your religion is safe? Are you keeping mum because you felt it is happening to your enemy, the Igbos? Now, I am calling on the Christian body to arise against this jihad that has come upon us. There is jihad going on right now in the Middle Belt and in the Southeast, South, and Southeast, in various forms. And if Christians does not rise to unite, I'm sorry. Pastor Adeboye, if you think the Yoruba race is safe, it's not true. All they want to do is to divide Christians first and conquer them bit by bit. Because if they come out and make it known that this is jihad, the whole world will arise, just like they are rising. I've not heard your voice. And I will not be surprised if you will arise and to condemn the genocide. Of course, Reverend Father Kuka, the moment Bishop Kuka took up an appointment from a government that have encouraged genocide against Christians, I knew he has compromised. And let me tell you, people will begin to question church and Christianity, because you are showing us that the two things is different. That church is a business venture, while Christianity is a religion. So I'm using this opportunity to call Christians to rise and defend their members, especially these church leaders. I'm calling on number one, you must lead a 1 million march. Pastor Enoch Adeboye, you must lead a 1 million march in this country, Nigeria, to save Christians, especially a Christian that was judged by a Sharia court, and the genocide that is going on in the south,
You will
in
not.
the north,
You never see that one.
and in the southeast. If anybody is telling you that IPOP is the one responsible, it's a lie. Just like they hide under farmers' headers clash to sponsor the jihad in the north, they're hiding under IPOP while they raised the jihadists in the person of Elijah Sadiq Kibo, created a platform in Bubago, and hand them over to pour them into southeast, give them military protection, and they started sacking villages. Because if you look at what is obtainable from the north and in the southeast and south, it's the same thing. So I'm calling on all church leaders to rise and protest and join their voices with what is happening in America with Senator Cruz.
They will not.
Christianity, because by the time they capture the East, which they believe will give them a serious resistance, and the Middle Belt, the same year Pastor Adeboye will preach Quran in your church. So let us rise before it is too late.
Exactly. It's a very good one. But just like my sister wrote here, if you challenge Adeboye from now till thy kingdom come, he will never show up. It is all wickedness against the Igbos. That is true. Challenge Adeboye from here, hell to heaven. You will never hear any one of their mouth. Have you ever hear him speak? This was the same Adeboye who went to confirm in London, went all the way to London to confirm that the terrorist jihadist that was dead, late Muhammad Buhari, was alive. Remember, it was Adeboye that they used to push that propaganda. When late Muhammad Buhari died in London, it was Adeboye that they took. He claimed he saw, when they were trying to bring that imposter, who was just like that, then he was just like a remote. He would just sit down and laugh. In London, you remember, some of you have forgotten. It was Adeboye that they took to push that propaganda. They flew Adeboye all the way to London that he went to visit late Muhammad Buhari, a dead man. He was the one that when they used in that program. These were the people that came. Just recently, I forgot to bring that video. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to play that video. Recently, one of them confessed, they are confessing, that protest they had against Goodluck Jonathan was wrong. That they knew that removing subsidy at that time was the right thing to do. All these people knew that removing subsidy that Jonathan wanted to do that was the right thing to do, but all of them gang up together. They gang up together. And they came and they protested against Goodluck Jonathan. One of the politicians was confessing. I will get that video. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to play the video. I'll find it and play it. I can't get the video now. One of them, politician, was confessing that the protests they held against Goodluck, and he was laughing. He was laughing and people were jubilating and clapping. APC, a jihadist party. When the court in Canada told you that the ruling parties in Nigeria are terrorist organizations, you think it's a joke. Let me tell you, Canada is a first world country. It's not a third world country. Canada is a first world country. So whatever they say, they don't just come and say it to make you happy or to entice you or they don't support anybody. Before a Canadian high court will come out and say a word, before a Canadian judge will open their mouth and say a thing, they have evidence. When a court in Canada said that the leading parties in Nigeria are terrorist organizations, it was not a blackmail. It wasn't a propaganda. It wasn't to make you happy. It is the fact, the truth, and nothing but the truth. You can imagine that time. Adeboye, you are talking about Adeboye, was in front line, shouting and shouting with the other idiot. There's one other clown again that wanted to contest the president also. That one was also with them. Every one of them we are speaking, supporting a jihadist to be the president of Nigeria. And they lied against their own brother. Not just their own brother, they lied against an innocent man who was innocently trying to put Nigeria on the right track. Recently, one idiot came and confessed and said that time they knew that subsidy, the movement of subsidy was one thing that is in the manifesto, is the right thing to do at that time, but there was nothing they could do for the party's sake and all that. They spoke against that. They fought against him. They attacked him. They destroyed everything he stood for. And today they are confessing. Today they are confessing. This same church people were the people they used. This same Adoboye was the person that gave Muhammadu Buhari a vice president. Even during that time, his own pastor was murdered in cold blood, who went to preach. They took away the life of the innocent woman because he went for morning cry preaching. All this while, they have been talking about this Christian genocide, Christian. Have you ever heard Adeboye speak about it? Have you ever heard Adeboye speak about it? But when the issue of tithe and offering was on, Adeboye was one of those who is always on the online talking about every Sunday preaching is tithe and offering. You must give tithe. At a point in time, he opened his mouth and said, if you don't pay tithe, you will not go to heaven. He opened his mouth, this same mouth he used to talk to me. He said, if you don't pay tithe, you go to heaven. Only when the pressure became so much, he came back and apologized. He said there are certain things he said before that were not right. He said that if you don't pay the tithe, you will not go to heaven, that it was wrong. You can imagine somebody of that caliber, somebody of that level, has not, since he has been a pastor till he got to that stage he was, he never knew. He never knew. He has not known that tithe does not have anything to do with going to heaven. Even people that are not pastors, ordinary Christians, know that tithe has nothing to do with going to heaven. But Adeboye doesn't know because he is serving mammon. Because he's serving mammon. Because he's serving God of money. Because his God is God of money. He could not be able to realize that your tithe has nothing to go with your going to heaven. He boldly gathered his pastors and he told them that if anybody that refused to pay tithe will not make heaven. It was only when the fire came up upon him, when pressure came and people began to speak from all angles, he came and confessed. Today, in the genocide of Christians who he has been extorting for years, the Christians that gave him the platform where he standing, the Christian that he had been extorted for long, what has he said about it? What has been his own contribution? He is the one that is dining in the corridor of power. He is dining with Tinubu and co. He is the one working with them. He called them on phone, speak with them. What effort has he made? Even the genocide that's happening in Kwara State, has he said anything? Has he said anything in the plan of the Fulanis to take over Kwara State? Kwara State, fellow Yoruba people, they are bleeding. They are losing life in Kwara State. Forget about the Christians. Let's say they are not from his place. What of Kwara State? What has he said about Kwara State? What has he said about Kwara State? But when a Christian was there, a genuine man that has conscience was there, a man that said that his presidency does not want the blood of a single human being. The person that says his presidency does not want the blood of a single human being, they pursued him and chased him out. But the man that said that if he didn't win, that the blood of cows and baboon will flood the street, he voted for that man. He worked with that man. Even when the man was dead, he was still promoting the man. And these are the people that come to the pulpit every Sunday and they talk. You know, I don't like talking too much about Christianity or religion. But when there are individual questionable characters, we will not fail but call their name. And the time has warranted that. The time has warranted that. Because of the emotional blackmail that they are pushing against us. I have to mention that because of the topic we have today. The topic we have today have a lot to do with the churches, what they preach. They are the ones that the government is using to manipulate us emotionally, including us, those, especially Igbos. When you talk about all these big mega churches, 85% of their members are Igbos. The highest donors in those churches are Igbos. The highest tithe payers, they are Igbos. The highest congregation are Igbos. And they use that means that their church to manipulate you and tell you that you don't have to fight for freedom, even though they know that Christ himself, whom they follow, was a freedom fighter. Christ was a freedom fighter. He came to fight for freedom of humanity. He came to save humanity. He fought for freedom of humanity until the last day. But they will use their church to manipulate you. If you're an IPOB member, you are not a good Christian. If you are a human rights activist of Biafra, you are not a good Christian. They push that emotional blackmail. They use all these big names. They call themselves pastors, including the Biafran ones. Those ones that are, there are some of them that are Biafrans. Michael Konkwa and Co. and all of them. Have you ever heard their voice? The only few men that are giving their voice in the cause of Biafra and the cause of the Igbo is Ebuka Obi and Mbaka. Ebuka Obi and Mbaka, these are the only two people. Sometimes Ebube Monso. Ebuka Obi, Mbaka, Ebube Monso, these are the people that always speak about the issue of Biafra, issue of the Igbos. But other ones, there is one idiot again that is in, I don't know where that one is, that is attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he's saying he's a reverend father. One clown that I don't know where he comes out from, that will not go and begin to serve his mass in his convent every time he's on social media. A content creator abusing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, abusing Mazi Simon Ekpa. I don't even know where that one come out from. One clown that have failed in his ministry. You have failed as a reverend father. Pull that gown, throw that gown away, and come out and join the content creators and create your content, and let's know you are a content creator. He presents himself as a reverend father. He said he's a reverend father, but every day he's online. Every blessed day he's online, abusing Mazi Simon Ekpa, abusing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A failure, complete failure. These are the people that people go and sit and say they give you a reading so. You go away, they go reading so. These are the people that come and give you already in your places and you take. You see people sitting under him to pray for them. A man that has no business with, a man that has no business with religion. He has no business with the church. A failure who has no business with the church. He joined there today. All he does is to castigate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, castigate Mazi Simon Ekpa, attack the Biafran cause. And he called himself a reverend father. He called himself a reverend father. I pray that Chukwu Okike will fight our battle and never allow us to lose. Every one of us should remember to have the confidence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. The composure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. The calmness of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. The emotional confidence that they have. This is the time for us to be emotionally confident. Don't allow the content creators to drive your emotions. Don't allow the content creators to make you feel that your brother is your problem. No, we are not. More especially content creators that are not even Biafrans. People who don't know how you feel. They don't know what you are passing through. And I say it again and again. If you are not a Biafran, you can never on the planet Earth know what the Biafrans are going through. You cannot. You can feel sympathy genuinely. You can feel us genuinely, but feeling exactly how we feel, knowing exactly how we feel is impossible. Only a Biafran understands what a Biafran is going through. For you to understand the situation of a Biafran, you must be a Biafran. Our situation is not just marginalization. It's not just, it is something that follows us every day you sleep and you wake up. Your children come back from school, they complain about it. You enter a bus, you see it. You go into the church, you see it. You go into your schools, you see it. You travel in the airport, you see it. Everywhere you are, as an Igbo man, you see the attack on your life on daily basis. You need to fight for your life every blessed day. From the moment you are born as a Biafran, an Igbo-Biafran, you need to fight for your life. You need to convince people to believe you. You need to convince, you need to prove to people at every given point in time until the day you leave. That is the life we live as Biafrans. So you can't tell me that you understand how we feel or what you can never in your dream understand how a Biafran feel except you are a Biafran. So don't allow anybody to emotionally blackmail you. This is the new strategy of Nigerian government, emotional blackmail. And they have pumped people on media. On social media, they have platforms sponsored. Even in their comment section, you will see people sponsored to comment and promote that agenda, only to make you feel that you are your own problem. Only to make you remove your eyes from the real problem and begin to challenge your own brother as the enemy. That is all their target. They want to die, and many of us have ended up falling into this very deceit. Many of us today, they use their platform, engage their own brother, day in, day out. They use their propaganda to push negative information against themselves. Some of them are doing this intentionally because of what they intend to gain. Some are doing it unintentionally. They think they are making sense. The emotional war that we are fighting on media today is something that every Biafran must pay attention to. That person you think is fighting your cause is not. Is not. That person you think is fighting your cause is not. He doesn't understand how you feel. He doesn't know what you are going through. And he can never in his life understand what you go through, what you feel. That is why they make jest of everything. Some of them, they talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You think they are praising Mazi Nnamdi. They are mocking you. Some of them, when they mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the course of their discussion, it is mockery. They mock you. They only want to mock you and let you know that the man you trust as your leader, the only man you can present as your leader, he's in jail and cannot be released. It's a mockery. You think they are saying those things to favor? No, they are saying this as a mockery. It only takes you to go into your mind. Go into your mind. Be emotionally intelligent. Then you can be able to understand where they are coming from when they come, and you know where to stand and what to say. That is why this message is timely. Emotional intelligence, it is science. They can break our bones, not our mind. Don't allow them to break your mind. Do not, under any condition, never allow them to break your mind. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, unbroken confidence. Mazi Simon Ekpa, unbroken confidence. Borrow leaf from them. If there is nothing you can learn, borrow this confidence from them. Emotional war on Biafrans, it is going on every day. Today, they have employed many people on their conventional media, on the social media, everywhere. Look at the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a practical example. A country going against its own law. You see the video I played. Every single that video, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was explaining what Nigerian law says. Compare what Nigerian law says to what they are practicing. The law of Nigeria say that the Nigerian government or the courts has no jurisdiction to try the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That any one of them that made an attempt to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on their court is a terrorist. That is what their law says. But they throw away that law and they continue to attack Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to break him emotionally, to make him angry, to make him violent. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have remains focused. And after all this running helter-skelter, you see him, he came back and told them, no case submission. I have no case because you got no right to try me. He is not. One thing people forget is that it is not just Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saying a Supreme Court Supreme Court in Nigeria said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer in Nigeria. That Nigerian government has no power to try the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Went ahead, said that no court in Nigeria has the right to try case Mazi Nnamdi Kanu until they solve the situation in the extraordinary rendition. You cannot stand on illegality and you'll be talking about legality. This is a fact established, even in their local law and international law, but yet they ignore it. But go to their media. You can never see any media in Nigeria emphasizing on these issues. They will only tell you how it is governors that are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how it is Igbo politicians that are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how it is Igbo businessmen that are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how is Igbo elite, and they forget. These people forgot that the file lies on the table of the presidency. The executive, that is where the paper lies. That is where it is. The executive. The legislatures have already legislated the law. They legislated the law and they passed it out. And the judiciary have interpreted the law. When they interpreted the law, they say, let him go. He has not committed any crime. It is left for the executive to implement the law. That is why people were protesting, telling Tinubu to implement the law. That is the job of the executive, implementation of the law. That is why the ball lies on his table, not on any other person. But go to many platforms, they use their conventional media and social media to shift the blame. They shift the blame and make you fight yourself. They shift the blame and make you... We know that there are people in our land that has interest, that are afraid of the president of Mazina. That is not... Nobody needs to tell us. We don't need anybody to educate us about that. We do not need any education on that. We know. But the fact remains that the file lies with the executive to implement the law. The file, okay, will he now say, as you are destroying, as he's destroying building of people in Lagos State, so governors in the southeast will meet him, okay, stop destroying the building of buildings, so he will stop, right? He will stop. Or the governors will tell him, okay, don't apply for the next election, don't participate in the next election. Will he agree? So when they push this emotional blackmail against us, every Biafran should beware. Do not allow them to get you. Don't. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. Do not buy into it. Do not buy into it. I want us to listen to this very video. Let's hear what this brother has to say in this very video on VOP. Let us hear this very discussion they are having and hear what they have to say on this very studio.
Brought Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria for a case of terrorism. That is the issue at stake. The onus is on Nnamdi Kanu to now question his extraordinary rendition. These are two different things. Nnamdi Kanu ought to sue the federal government, but as of today, Nnamdi Kanu is not suing anybody. Rather, the federal government is suing Nnamdi Kanu for what he did or what he was alleged to have been done. The two of them are different. It is after this case has been adjudicated upon, then Nnamdi Kanu can now question why they had to kidnap him from Kenya.
Barrister, wouldn't that be like medicine after death?
No, it's not. But you can't mix up the two cases now. You are not challenging why you were brought from Kenya. You are not.
Barrister, he did challenge it. That was why the court said you don't have the jurisdiction to try him.
Listen,
he challenged it.
The first thing that the federal government did was to bring him for trial over what? Terrorism. That is the issue at stake now. Nnamdi Kanu can no longer come and say, because you brought me extraordinarily through extraordinary means, therefore you have...
On what ground? On what ground did the appeal court say that the High Court ab initio doesn't have local standard to try him? On what ground was that judgment given?
look at it, the judges that carried that decision in the appeal court, where are they now? Do you know that?
No, barrister.
They said,
forget where are they. On what ground did the appeal court give that judgment? Did the court grant Nnamdi a prayer that he didn't ask for?
No, Nnamdi Kanu was mixing it up initially. When they brought those charges, remember the charges that was quashed in the appeal court, 15 count charges, is those things that the DSS brought against him. And it was quashed. Even when they got to the Supreme Court now told Nnamdi Kanu, sue the federal government, enter a civil suit against the federal government for what they did to you. That was where they now brought all these charges against Nnamdi Kanu. So that is what we are talking about now. But so far, Nnamdi Kanu, I didn't hear where he has.
You have not answered my question.
I have answered you, but you don't understand.
I'm asking you, on what ground did the appeal court say that, look, the High Court, because this man was brought in illegally, you don't have the local standard to try him. And I'm asking you, did the appeal court grant a prayer that Nnamdi didn't seek? Or did he just walk into court and court said, look, High Court, you shouldn't have tried him because you brought him back illegally?
The charges at the appeal court, was it not quashed? It was quashed. It was quashed. Is that not true? All the charges against Nnamdi Kanu was quashed at the appeal court.
And yet the appeal court also said the High Court doesn't have right to try him.
At that point, they ought to have left him. But the federal government brought the charges again. When the matter went to appeal, remember, he ought to have been let off the hook. But the federal government, in their own wisdom, brought another charge on Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
And that is where we are now.
Okay, not on the previous charges.
I mean, can't you see it? It had been quashed already.
For you to understand this argument and this explanation that this man was making, I want you to listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again, what they did. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu won this case. All the charges were quashed, but they went and created another charges. This constant creation of charges, they amended it before. It was 16 charges, from 16 to 8, from 8 to 5, from 5 to nothing. They came back again. They brought 17 charges, from 17 charges to 4. All these things are a waste of time and energy because they have nothing against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And for you to understand what this man was explaining, I want you to listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to say in this video.
I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. They removed it. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me.
That is true.
Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Yeah, based on that, they removed from. Based on that, they now amended the charge again.
Did you hear that? When they brought their charges, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put forward the defense and told them, made it clear to them that no court in Nigeria has the right to try him. Because in the charges they presented then, they say he committed a crime in London. So if he committed his crime in London, the only people that have the right to try him is the London court, or London court giving them the permission, which has not been given. So when they realized that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows what he's doing, he knows the law, they went back and re-amended the charges. It is important that you know where we are coming from. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood on his ground and said, no case submission, he didn't just say it because he wants to say. That's why I'm playing these two videos. These are old videos. Statement Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made at the beginning. That is still what he's making today. That is, when you are standing on the truth, you don't need rocket science for you to remember. You don't need anything. You don't need anybody to remind you. Even if you are sleeping or you're waking up, you will say the same thing. The only people that find it difficult to defend themselves are people who are lying. Because if you are lying, you lie today, tomorrow you need another lie to support the lie you lied before. Before you know it, you need 1,000 lies to sustain one lie that you have lied before. But when you are telling the truth, all you need is to wake up, go to the court and give your word. I want you to pay good attention to what transpired at the beginning that brought us to where we are today.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. They removed it. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. They removed that because since this offense was committed in England, so they said,
It's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah, based on that, they remove London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the broadcast.
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196?
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2020.
In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
The same thing he said, that is where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started today. So when you hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu enter no case submission, it is not just a joke. It's not just that he woke up, he didn't know, just like the one Ape Face Abati was trying to paint it in their studio. Ape Face, when he was talking about the case, Ape Face was saying that he's not sure if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows what he's doing. Maybe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't know the implication of what he's saying. These are the kind of things that their media push. This is the kind of information their media push, and that was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu warned them. I want you to hear this. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also reveal their violation of their own law. That alone destroys their case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says.
As simple as that.
Not me.
As simple as that.
Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism.
Yes.
Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial is not done anywhere in the world. And it happened in my case.
So you can see how they have at every given opportunity emotionally blackmailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the joy of it all is that in that emotional warfare against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he has remained calm. He has remained composed and he has remained confident. In the midst of the emotional warfare on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even recently, the result on physical attack on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer emotional attack. Physical attack on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the last court when he went back to court, you see, they attacked him. In the midst of all this emotional war, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remained calm, remain composed, remain confident. You that is watching this program, borrow leaf from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Borrow something from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You must remain calm. You must remain focused. And you must remain confident that Biafra is possible. It does not matter what you see. It doesn't matter what you hear. Don't allow them to drive you crazy. Don't allow them to make you speak in a manner that is unproductive. Don't allow them to speak against your own freedom. Don't allow them to make you fight your brother, your sister. Don't. Remain focused. The emotional warfare is real. It is real. It is not a joke. If you think it's a joke, think again. It is real. We must remain composed. We must remain focused. And we must maintain that standard because our problem have reached elastic limits. It is either they let us go or everything will crash. That is where we are today. This message today is very, very important. That when you listen to it, don't keep it to yourself. Share it and make sure that someone else gets this message. It is very, very important. As we are rounding up on this program, this very morning, we are going to come back again in the evening to continue to educate Biafrans, to continue to make revelations on issues that concerns us. But as we round up, wherever you are watching me from, either you are watching this program from Biafra land, you're watching me from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand, from Israel, from China, Russia, you're watching us from Palestine, you're watching us from Ukraine, wherever you are watching us from, Brothers and sisters, this is the truth. If they can't defeat us emotionally, they can't defeat us at all. Did you hear me? If they can't defeat us emotionally, they cannot defeat us at all. Our strength is not in weapons. It's in our unity, intelligence, and emotional balance. Our strength is in our strength is not in weapons. It's in our unity, intelligence, and emotional balance. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, showed us the way. Our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has shown us the way. Calmness, confidence, strategic. Now it's our turn to carry that energy. Every single one of you that believes and trusts in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, he has shown us the way. From what you have seen today, from what I have explained and what I have laid bare before you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have shown us calmness. He has shown us confidence. He has shown us strategic. Now, it's our turn to carry that energy and run with it. The emotional war is real. But our confidence will win it. Stay strong. Stay smart. Stay emotionally intelligent, most importantly. Stay emotionally intelligent. Very, very important. This is the Biafran spirit. Unbroken, unstoppable, and awake. We demand free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Biafra will always rise. Wherever you are watching us from, do not forget in this platform to like and share the program. Comment and subscribe if you are not done so, because the world must hear us. The world must hear us. The world must hear us. No matter how they try to stop us, we will make sure that they hear us. I want you to know, wherever you are, that in the world of today, as we march on, emotional intelligence is the new revolution. Don't forget that. Control your emotion. Control the enemy. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu calmness is our lesson in courage. Biafrans, stay strong. Never react in fear. Psychological warfare requires mental power. Confidence is our weapon. Unity is our shield. They can break what is built. They can't break what is built on truth. They can't. It doesn't matter how they try. They can never, ever break what is built on truth. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, I appreciate every one of you that have been able to participate on this program today. Everyone that is on the comment section supporting in one way or the other, may Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect every one of you. I thank you all for being part of this program. Please, if you have not shared this program, you are not doing yourself any good. Your sharing the program is not just for me, it is for the cause of Biafra. I have done my part, and my own part is to come on here and speak the truth that the world may hear. Call the attention of the international communities as much as I can. Sharing of the message is in your hand. Share it in all your social media network, your Twitter handle, your Facebook, your YouTube channel, everywhere you can. Cut it out and share. It is time for us to prepare. The battle is not easy, but we're going to win. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every single Biafran that is on this platform. I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will keep us and we will see Biafra. Whatever plan the enemy have made against us will never succeed. More especially our brothers and sisters in Biafra land. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will protect them, guide them, secure them. No accidental bullet will touch you. No kidnappers will see you. Every one of us that is participating on this program, everybody in Biafra land, you will see Biafra and you will raise the flag. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to guide and protect every Biafran across the world, wherever you may be. Any country where you are as a Biafran, you'll be blessed. You'll be protected. You'll be secured. Freedom, you will see, and you will join us and raise the flag. I pray for all the leaders of this struggle. Chukwu Okike Abiama will guide and protect every one of them. More especially, our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our prime minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will guide and protect Mazi Simon Ekpa. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will build a wall of fire around Mazi Simon Ekpa. Every pit they have done for prime minister, they will fall into it. Every plan they will make against our prime minister will backfire on their head. The word of Chukwu Okike Abiama said that all things work for good to them that love Chukwu Okike Abiama. Because we love Chukwu Okike Abiama, our prayer will be answered. Everything will work for the good of our prime minister. And when he appears on this appeal, everything will turn around for his good. And very soon, he will appear in glory. We pray for our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that in the coming days, we'll be in the court on the 4th, on the 5th, and on the 6th. At this trial, Chukwu Okike Abiama will take charge. Whatever happens in either way, it will be a win-win for us. We shall celebrate. We shall welcome our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, very soon. And we will celebrate him in his lifetime as a hero. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafran people shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our leaders shall prosper. I appreciate everyone that have been with us on this program. Thank you so much for joining us and hope to see you again in the evening. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe and touch your notification bell so that when I come in the evening, you will get the notification and you join us on the evening section. Thank you so much. See you again and stay blessed. Bye-bye, everyone.
Oh.